Hi everybody, it's already the end of Make It month 1. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. So just to recap, in the first month we looked at basic ways to cut out metal using jeweler's shears, and then how you can file your edges to make them nice and smooth and straight, and how you can then sand them back using things like nail buffers or wet and dry emery paper in different grits to get the effect that you want, whether that's just removing scratches or whether you want to use a coarser grit to actually put scratches into your metal for decorative effect. We also looked at different ways of texturing metal using hammers. So we talked about using ball peen hammers with the balled end and cross peen hammers with the wedge end, as well as using old vintage hammers where you can use the surfaces to get really nice textures. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I've made as samples, and I hope you enjoyed the project. If you have been working along at home and you'd like to share what you've been up to, you can use the hashtag MakeItMonth1. And then if you either search for that hashtag or click on it in a post, you'll be able to see what everybody's been up to and what we've made during the first month of the project. Next month, we're going to be looking at how to cut out much more intricate shapes. So you can basically cut out any shape you want using a jeweler's piercing saw. One of the reasons you can cut out really intricate and delicate things is because the blades are so thin, but because of that a lot of people find using the piercing saw quite tricky, and they break their blades constantly and then they get quite frustrated. So we're going to be looking at best practice and specifically how not to break your blades, so lots of top tips around that. If you'd like to join in at home and you haven't already got a saw, you could have a look for a jeweler's piercing saw online, and we're going to be using number 4 blades, so 4/0. Here are some examples of the pieces that I've made this month. So these ones were all made using an old hammer, and can you see all the marks and lines on the surface of this hammer that I got from the vintage store? So the edges and these marks are what have left these lines and indents in the piece, and some of them are plain and some of them have cut smaller shapes out to layer over the top. This one is similar, but this one was made, and it's quite subtle, using the ball peen hammer. So the rounded end of one of the hammers hammered into the surface of the metal. And these were using that same hammer, but using the surface of it, and it just gives a more subtle version of these that were done with the surface of the vintage hammer. The texture on these little earrings were achieved with the cross peen hammer, so the wedge shape. And these are the same, but I've just cut out more than one piece per earring and joined them together with little jump loops. This one, the texture's been achieved using the sharp pointed end of the scribe, which we talked about in the video to do with marking and drawing on your metal. Now this technique could be done with anything that has a nice sharp point in it, so it could be a little needle file or an old nail or a pair of dividers, anything that you can scratch into. This one's been achieved with some coarse sandpaper to get the surface texture, and then I used a little needle file to to file ridges along the edges. And then finally, these ones were done with nail polish. You can also mask off certain areas, so these ones have been done by gently sanding all over, masking off 2/3 of it with some masking tape, and then polishing the exposed part of the metal. And then in a similar way, these ones have been masked off, and then some high quality nail enamel has been applied to give a pop of colour. So I'd really love to see what you've made this month using these techniques. So remember, if you tag them, Make It Month 1 and share your progress. And I look forward to sharing more tips with you around the jeweler's saw next month.